How's it going, guys? Thank you for coming back to my channels. Um, as you know, I went back to China last year. It was actually before the 144 hours travel-free visa um, things. So at that time, most of the stuff were not that open. But after I think September, China government started the 144 uh, uh, visa-free policy. There were like tons of foreigners flooding into China to to see it for themselves. Look at the difference, which is nice. Um, I watched a couple of them, not actually more than a couple. But the thing I found out is many foreigners, they're smart. They say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the local." Um, they know that their phone SIM card won't work in China, so they have to go. They have to go to a local phone stores to get the SIM card. But unfortunately, many of them actually, I think many of them, they arrived at night in the middle of the night, and they couldn't get the SIM card. They had to they had to go all the way down to downtown to get a SIM card. And also, they don't open in the morning, right? They usually open like around like 10, 11 opened. So they kind of stranded. They kind of stranded in the airport, or they had to find a cash, because without the internet, even though you have Alipay or WeChat, um, you still cannot use it, right? So you have to have the local SIM card ready to go once you get there. But how do you do that? You can't really, you can't really um, pre-buy the local SIM card. And one more thing you have to understand: in China, they don't take eSIM, so they only take the actual SIM card. So you think you're gonna go to China and get an eSIM. That's not gonna work. They don't like eSIM. What you can do is you can first, you know, two apps are very important: Alipay or WeChat. Download those two apps before you go to China. Link your bank card to Alipay and or WeChat before um, before you go to China. Okay. Uh, I know for sure Alipay can link to the Mastercard, foreign Mastercard. WeChat, at my last year, my time, I couldn't. So, but I heard or I saw most of the foreign V-bloggers now, they can link their bank card to the WeChat. Second thing, first thing is download the WeChat or Alipay before you come. Link your bank card. Do that first. And second thing is, depends on where you're coming from. Like I'm coming from Canada, right? So you're from US, Canada, England, whatever. I'm pretty sure your local SIM card has something called international roaming plan. Buy a tiny little bit roaming plan, like 1 day or 2 days. So that means once you get into China, your phone, you still have data. You still can get onto the local network using data. So by that way, you can actually buy your train ticket, bus ticket immediately, right? Then you don't have to go through you have to go look for the local eSIM at the middle of the night. So have a little roaming package, 1 or 2 days. I don't think it's gonna cost too much. Like 10, like for me, it would be 10 Canadian or 20 Canadian. Maybe UK will be £10 to £20. That's the local one. Um, Someone actually, one of the bloggers actually bought a China SIM card uh, from outside of China. There are something like this, but you just need to pay more. Um, I think you just need to pay more like 57 euro, like for like certain amount of a data, like 5 gig data for a month. Samsung is pretty much pretty good, right? But if you go to local, it's only like 50 yuan for 5 gig or even 500 gig. So the price is way different. But if you're buying like that, basically you're buying roaming package, roaming package from your own country, from Europe or from Canada, like $50, 5 gig international roaming package. So you don't even need to change your SIM. You can use that SIM, and the benefit of that SIM is that SIM you can still get onto YouTube, Google, because your SIM is actually international, and then you can get open Instagram, Facebook. There's no block if you're using international. If your SIM card is international roaming, and then you can still use those apps. But if you're not using a local, if your SIM card is local, that local SIM card won't be able to get out to use the Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Um, Without those, you know what? I don't even care. Once I get to China, I don't even need to use those app. Like really, I don't really need to use Google app. The Apple Map works, so that I don't see the reason why I have to use Facebook. Even though I'm in like Instagram, even I'm in Canada, I don't use Instagram often. I don't see that app very useful beside of propagandas. So a e-blogger, not sorry, e-blogger, a blogger actually trying to get the bike, but they had trouble. It is true. If you um, if you only use if you the game is, if you want to rent those bike, you need to have the passport, uh, scan your passport, send to them, and let them approve you, and then you can actually scan the QR code and get the bike. Um, what I did was, you cannot do it right there. When you see the bike, you want to do it. No, no, it won't. It will take some time. Go back to your hotel, and in the Alipay app, there is a little bicycle icon. You can try that, and then it will ask you for sending you the passport photo number, stuff like that. And I think like a few hours later, they approved it. Once they approve, then you can rent the blue bike. Okay, the blue bike only. One Alipay, one bike. So if you have a spouse or girlfriend, wants to have a second bike, no, you can't rent two bikes with one Alipay app. So the yellow bike is belongs to another company called Meituan. Okay, that one you can download the app. Also download the app. Once you get in your hotel, download the app. It's called Meituan, and that one you can link it to WeChat. Since your WeChat is linked to another card, right? So you can rent. Same thing. You have to send in your passport photo and then let them approve that. Otherwise, you take the bike and then just drop everywhere, or in the corner. They can't find the bike, right? They're gonna lose the money. The reason why you can get at the bike everywhere is because they know who you are, right? And if there's something happen, they're gonna charge you. It's pretty fair. That's why they take your passport photo. In China, they take the ID card, right? It's the same thing. You say, "Oh, you take my passport photo," but you can, in your own country or our country, they will take your driver's license to make sure that you are who you are, right? So that way, once you link the yellow the Meituan app with WeChat, and since your WeChat linked to a credit card too, so that means you can use the Meituan that app to rent the yellow bike, and using Alipay to rent the blue bike, and that way, one phone you can rent two bikes for your girlfriend and yourself. But you say, "Oh, what if I have children?" That's the problem. The children part. might be tricky. So you might need to have your spouse or your girlfriend to have Alipay and WeChat, linked to the credit account. That way you can have 4 bikes. So makes sense, right? But again, you are not able to get the bike right there. Like you see a bike, say yellow bike or blue bike, and then you cannot just scan it right away. Take the bike. You need to go through the proving who you are first. Um, Buying a train ticket, right? I did mention that train ticket is a little tricky part. Um, they do need to the first time if you have like Alipay, it has an app how to book a train. You can go through that. It's fine. But at the first time, you still need to go to a train station to let them check your passport to prove who you are because the amount of money is quite high, right? So they do need to know who you are. Once they do that first time and they have you in the record, then uh, you can book most of the actually all of them train ticket through the apps. There are many travel app booking app. The one I use um, is a Chinese version of I think it's Trip.com. Um, that also if you use WeChat, um, um, you can actually book most of the sites like the Great Wall of China or the Tiananmen Square, Forbidden City, Pandas, Research Center, Shangxingdui, most of the museum, every single tourist spot, you can find it online, and then go using their SIM card. No, using the QR code, scan the QR code to buy ticket. You have to do that before you go to any site because they do have the booking system that they don't want 50,000 people show up at the same time. It makes sense, right? They have to control the flow. Sorry, having trouble with my mouth. Um, so that way, they can control the people. So you can just show up and then go in. Hopefully, you can buy a ticket. Um, I know during the low season time, not the Chinese holiday, like in the May 10 is a labor holiday in China. It will be so busy. In the summertime, like July, busy. So you have to book the site online. Sometimes the site is so busy, like the Terracotta Soldier site or the Panda site in Chengdu or even Forbidden City, so busy, right? The booking time maybe 1 or 2 days. Like so, if you only have 7 days, uh, you're planning to if you're planning to that site, please do link up your thing first, link up your Alipay or WeChat first, and book the ticket in advance. And that way, once you arrive next day, you can go. Most of people arrive in the middle of the night, right? And then they already have trouble, getting on WeChat and Alipay. And the next day, they thought, they're gonna go to Tiananmen Square or Forbidden City to have a look, and then realize that you have the book in advance, like at least 24 hours. That's dummy, right? That's what. But from my experience, you cannot like if if you cannot get a ticket in the morning for some reason, like 50-50 chances in the afternoon, they might actually open up for booking again because most of people arrive in the morning and they leave around like 2 or 3. So around like 2 in the afternoon time, there's a gap. It's kind of like nobody's booking anymore, so they might open the booking time for new bookings. What did that say? We went to Sanxingdui in Chengdu, and then in the morning it was so busy, booking was gone. So I didn't know I have to book in advance, right? So It's kind of bummer. And then the guy said, just wait, just wait. And then like 1 or 2 hours later, the booking opened again. And then we were able to book the afternoon one. So we went in the afternoon to look at the museum. It took like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours there is enough for the museum, right? So, when you take the whole day for a museum. So that is one way. Of course, booking in advance is a really good idea. Certain site you really want to see, like Terracotta Soldier. I know one of the bloggers actually went to Xi'an trying to see a Terracotta Soldier, and then they couldn't go at booking because it was the Chinese New Year holiday or something. It was a bummer when you went all the way to Xi'an, and then cannot get the booking and cannot go to Terracotta Soldier. So what's the point, right? Then you need to come back next time and go and do that. So listen to me. If you are going there, and then only 144 hours, so like basically 6 days, make sure that you book in advance. But if you're afraid that maybe the Chinese government won't let me in, I don't want to book it. No, don't believe in those stupid propaganda. You are able to get in easily. If you are not those journalists, independent journalists, right? Then they might actually not letting you in. So because obviously those people are not actually going in for traveling, right? To experience China. All right, thank you so much for watching.